Hey, this is Jean. You've heard the saying, this time is different, the four most expensive words in English. And guess what? We've been telling ourselves this for over 200 years of boom-bust cycles, from railroad in the 1800s to AI. So why many still fell into the trap? So today, we're going on a little journey through 200 years of tech hype cycles. Buckle up, because this might just save you from losing your pants in a potential AI bubble. Our story starts in 1800. Think top hat, corset, an invitation-only dance party with royal family. People poured money into canals. Yes, canals, you heard it right. It was the AI at that time if we rewind the clock back for 200 years. Who wouldn't want to ship stuff cheaper and faster than carriages? Share prices soared and dividends hit 50%. I'll put all my money in if any stock offers this. But then, railway shows up. It was cheaper to build, had no winter downtime, and it could expand to town without waterways. By the 1840s, instead of canals, there was a railway mania. From small-town merchants to big-time bankers, everyone piled in. Spoiler alert, the mania collapsed. Stock nosedived by almost 70%. Most small rail companies were begging the big ones to buy them out. Then you have the light bulb and the war of currents. Thomas Edison, the Wizard of Menlo Park, he was the charismatic frontman of his era. Think Sam Altman. You think Edison was a genius? Nah, that was a bedtime story. In reality, he was a great fundraiser. He made wild tech promise and massive investment hype. His investors were all convinced that they could achieve anything by having old items powered by electricity. Maybe they were even thinking of EGI, the electricity general intelligence? Then you have Nikola Tesla. If Edison was the Sam Altman of his time, Tesla was the Ilya Zakseva. Someone with more focus on underlying technology rather than the hype. While Edison was big on direct current, Tesla was on alternating current, a far more efficient and sustainable approach to transmit power. Well, then you know how it went from there, because everything in your house now is powered by alternating current. Edison stocks, they're worth a fraction of what they once were. There were over 1,500 automobile startups in the early 1900s. Many steam engine engineers invited their friends to start an automobile company. Sounds familiar? An AI engineer looking for investment? Then Great Depression hits in 1920s. There were only 40 automobile companies out of that 1,500 remains. Then only a few lasted for another 100 years. Think Ford, GM, Chrysler, that's about it. The industry was finally more stabilized after the crash. Ford came up with his famous production line method. The adoption rate was boosted, and of course, the small players got kicked out. Now, we're in the 90s. If that was when you lived, you would have a friend came up to you and told you every secret about the World Wide Web. Numerous online marketplaces and venture capital rushed in, because who would need a solid business plan when they got a catchy .com domain? The Nasdaq was on fire. In 1995, it was nearly 1,000. By March 2000, it rocketed past 5,000. You have seen your earning went up for 500%. Then you will be full of joys and you think yourself such a genius, a visionary investor, until October 2002. All your assets went nosedived by 78%. Why we keep being this optimistic, you asked? You think we learned? I can throw all these smart terms at you so you know why these boom-bust cycles keep happening again and again. Like FOMO, herd mentality, confirmation bias. But you know what? The reality is, we just can't stand our neighbors get rich. Welcome back to today. Living in the post-ChatGPT mania, suddenly everything can be resolved by AI. Writer's block? Get an AI. Not enough developers? Why not try AI? Cost saving? Use AI to replace all your customer supports. In the 2022s and the 23rds, investors put money in any domains with .ai in the end. Until 24s, people started to realize AI might not be the solution of all. After the release of O1 and O3, many started to think that AI's plateau might be real. I'm not saying AI isn't helpful. On the contrary, I've been using AI all the time, and it helps to an extent. But also, remember, we are talking about investment hype. It's really hard to predict whether you are in a technology investment hype, otherwise we're all millionaires. So I came up with this groundbreaking tool for everyone to identify whether they are in another technology hype or not. Let me introduce Tech Hype Bingo. Keep the bingo next to your money book before you buy any share in a shiny new AI startup, so you can keep track when you start hearing phrases like the next big thing or unicorn. If you got a full roll, consider that a hype. You might want to sit it out. Joking aside, so does that mean AI is all hot air? No. Electricity lights up our house. The internet connects the globes, and AI is slowly changing the ways of how we do things. But think about this forwards. This time is different. Before you betting your money in any shiny AI opportunity. My advice, stay curious, stay skeptical. Let me know in comments, do you think we are in another technology hype? Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell if you enjoyed the rant about where technology meets collective insanity. And do share this with your neighbor if he has already invested in AI.